What's up, everybody? It's your robot Yula. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you 5 ways I use to get better at English. Just want to be clear, I'm not claiming I've got perfect English. I'm just a foreigner who has been living in the US since 2015. So over those 8 years, I've been working on my English skills. Now you might be thinking, hold on, if your English isn't perfect, why should I trust you? Well, my friend, not everyone is a language whiz. That's why I'm here to offer an average person's perspective. If I can do it, trust me, you can too. I asked my classmates, the ones who've known me since 2015, to describe how good my English was when we first met. And Joe said, your English level when you first came to the US was like 2 out of 10. Now you're like an 8. Jonathan said, I'd say survival, LOL. You have the basics to survive day-to-day life, but a little hard to be involved in a conversation. Memo said it was like no English, with crying emoji. Very thick accent and struggling to find the correct words, not enough vocabulary or slang. You guys are so harsh. But I guess it's true. Jay said, when I first met Yula, her English was already pretty good because she can converse and get her points message across. The only thing that needed work was improving her vocabulary with certain English words. But overall, her English was pretty awesome. Aw, thanks Jay, you're the nicest. Varun said, when I first met Yula, she was a very friendly girl who was always open to making new friends and learning new culture. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, she didn't have the English that could help her communicate with the rest of us who spoke English throughout our lives. Through our course, she studied religiously and made all the effort to speak to us in as correct English as she could. Over a couple of years, she was extremely fluent in English and had developed a slim LA accent as well. LA accent? Oh my god, stop! For people who don't know what that accent is, it's a Valley accent. Tina said, compared to the other Chinese kids in the class, you were top-notch, so like 3 out of 5. Teresa said, I would say you had more difficulty with grammar in the beginning, but I think you spoke better than the Chinese classmates. Thank you, Tina and Teresa. I also asked Ben, my first American friend who has known me the longest in the US, and he said, what I could say is that you were always very confident to at least try to speak in English. And when you weren't sure how to say something, you would always ask for help. So you were confident, open-minded, and willing to give things a shot. English level, like on a scale of 1 to 10, was probably like 3.5 to 4 when we first met. Thanks, Ben. Now you know my English level from my friends. I'm going to share with you what I've done over the years to improve my English. First of all, the simplest way to get better at English is by talking. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just keep talking. Every time I say something, I check it in my head. Did I get the grammar right? And then I say it again the right way if needed. Just keep fixing yourself and eventually you'll remember your mistake and stop making them. And here's the trick to learning English. Don't take yourself too seriously. I often joke at myself for speaking Chinglish, a mix of Chinese and English, and guess what? Most time, people laugh and we ended up chatting. It's like a free English practice. Remember, confidence is the key. Even if you are not entirely sure what you're saying, just keep talking. Another trick is watching English movies or shows. When I first got here, I asked my friend who had been in the US for a while, what should I watch to get better at English? This was back in 2015 when Breaking Bad was the big thing. So he said I should watch it. Now I'm not sure he realized how basic my English was, and honestly, maybe starting with that show wasn't such a great idea. But I went for it anyway. I turned on English subtitles, struggled through the first few episodes, and then something strange happened. I got hooked on the story. Even though I didn't understand everything they said, I could kind of figure out what was happening. And if I came across a word that kept popping up, I would pause and look it up. After Breaking Bad, I moved on to Friends. I started with subtitles, then challenged myself by turning them off and just listening. When my American roommate noticed I had turned off the subtitles, she was surprised and so happy for me. Recently, I watched a show called Beef. I thought it was about meat at first, but turned out beef means having a fight or being aggressive. And guess what? I started hearing that word in other shows too. Interesting, right? Number 3, chatting with Uber drivers. This was my go-to before I had a car. Whenever I had to go far, I would call an Uber, sit in the front seat, and chat with the driver. He can't exactly tell me to be quiet or ditch the car, right? And when the traffic is a nightmare, what better way to kill time than practicing English? Most English-speaking drivers love a good chat. So just be bold and start talking. I told a friend of mine I did this and he was like, I did that too. Only he chatted with bus passengers. So yeah, this method works. Write it down. Number 4, singing English songs. My friend Jay gave me this tip. He said if I want to get better at speaking, I should sing. When I hear a song I like, I grab the lyrics and sing along. If I'm not driving, I'll look at the words and sing like I'm at a karaoke bar. It's a cool way to work on speaking speed and pick up new words. And last but not least, date someone who speaks English or at least has to use English with you. When I first got here, I didn't know anyone, so I thought, why not try a dating app and find an American friend to chat with? Of course, I had my fair share of awkward moments, but that's a story for another day. My first boyfriend was a Taiwanese American, born and raised in the US, so his English was perfect. At first, I figured he could help me with my English, since he also knew Mandarin. But nope, didn't quite work that way. We ended up speaking mostly Mandarin because he loved teasing my English. He made me lose confidence and rely on Mandarin. So yeah, we were improving his Mandarin, not my English. His next girlfriend should thank me. If you really want to get better, avoid dating someone who speaks your language. Find someone patient enough to understand or correct you. Otherwise, it won't help much. But hey, if you prefer dating someone from your own country, that's totally cool. Just make sure you've got a friend you can chat with in English. Thanks for tuning in. Did you write down these 5 tricks? Which one do you like the most? Want to know more? Drop a comment below. Also, what is your method to improve your English? Tell me, I'm all ears. Huge shout out to my friends for being awesome and encourage me to speak English. Every chat feels like a game of what is Yula trying to say? It's a fun game, you should join too. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it with friends who want to level up their English. Catch you next time. Bye!